Yo guys, so I've received a lot of requests to make a Season 2 BiS list for rogues for quite some time now, and since Season 2 is right around the corner now, I believe it's starting the 15th of September, I figured it's time to make a little video and just real quick walk you guys through my thought process regarding my choice for items as well as gems. So let's get into it. So for the Helm, we're going with the engineering goggles, and these are going to get added with Phase 2 along with Season 2. These are going to be your BiS until you get your Season 3 Helm or Tier 6 Helm or even Illidan Helm. Honestly, even after that, they might be considered your BiS, at least if you're playing double DPS, because they give you increased stealth detection, which is super useful, especially early seasons like Season 2. And yeah, they just have really great stats. So yeah, these are going to be your BiS for quite some time, and you're going to use these no matter what you play, no matter what comp you play, no matter what faction you play. You're always going to wear these goggles. They're really good. For the neck, we're going with this necklace from Kael'thas, and this neck you obtain by turning in a quest item that drops from Kael'thas. Has 100% drop rate, so it's going to drop every single reset, but I'm not really sure how the priority looks for this necklace. I think other classes, like at least there are a couple of classes I think that have higher prio than Rogue, because it might even be that this necklace right here, the one you bought from badges in Phase 1, could be considered your best in slot for PvP still, so this necklace might be a little bit difficult to obtain for a Rogue, but if you're able to, you really should, because it has really amazing stats. For the cloak, we're going with this one, which is also from Kael'thas. It has really great stats, high agility, high stam, high attack power. This cloak is gonna last you quite a long time, I think. There's a cloak from Black Temple, which is similar in terms of strength, which you'll be able to obtain in Phase 3, but even then, this one might actually come up on top. So yeah, it might even be considered BiS all the way until Sumwell, so this is a really great item that you should try to get if you can. For the bracers, I'm gonna go with the PvP bracers. Another alternative here would be these ones from Solarian in TBC Keep, which are also really great. It just basically comes down to whether or not you want the defensive stats from the PvP bracers or if you want the offensive stats from the PvP bracers. But I don't want to go too low in resilience, so I'm just gonna go with the PvP bracers. For the main hand, we're going with Rod of the Sun King, and the reason why we're going with Rod over Talon of Ashara or Talon of the Phoenix is due to the proc, which gives you a chance on melee attacks to gain 10 energy. Although from what I've heard from the PTR, the proc rate seems to be quite low, something like 1 to 2 procs per minute, but it can come in really clutch sometimes and allow you to get an extra ham off during a stun lock, or allow you to get a kidney or a gouge off in situations where you otherwise wouldn't be able to. So I think that's what makes Rod slightly better than these two. I will say though that Rod is most likely going to be Enhancement Shaman prio, and I think Talon of the Phoenix is going to be Enhancement Shaman and Hunter prio, so it might be a bit difficult to get your hands on these weapons. But if you can get your hands on Rod, then Rod is it is your best choice. Not by a long shot, but it is your best. Second best, I would say, is Talon of Ashara. For the offhand, we're going with the PvP offhand. I chose to display the dagger here, but you're gonna want to buy the offhand sword or the mace or the fist weapon as well, because you don't just want to have one offhand, you want to have 3 different offhands for 3 different poisons. One for crippling, one for wound, and one for mind numbing. And you're going to want to swap around depending on what you're facing and depending on the situation. Other alternatives than the PvP offhands would be Claw of the Phoenix, which has basically the same stats. They're very similar. The main difference being the passive stats, which are more offensive compared to the more defensive stats of the PvP offhands. For the throwing weapon, we're going with this one, the PvP throne, and the only other alternative here would be the Spine Sever if you want to go with the more offensive stats. and sacrifice the defensive stats of the PvP throne, but I think the PvP throne is a clear winner here, also due to the fact that it's a lot faster. So you're going to be able to dish out more throws, and you're going to be able to keep people in combat and stuff way faster than you would be able to with the Spine Sever. So yeah, PvP throne is your best in slot here. For the Trinket, we're going with the Nightside Panther. And the reason we're going with the Nightside Panther instead of the Bloodlust Brooch is because of the stealth level that it gives you. And just like in Season 1, openers are still a really big factor in Season 2, and there's going to be a lot of double DPS on ladder. And as you guys know, games that involve double DPS are usually determined by whoever gets the opener. So this Trinket is going to be your best in slot in this season as well. For the rings, we're going with the ring from Kael'thas and the ring from Hydros. And these rings are also considered to be your PV BiS. So you should be quite high priority on these rings. Yeah, there really isn't too much else to say. They're really great rings. Try to get them. For the boots, we're going with the Season 2 boots. Although I'm not too sure about this one because, as I said, the opener is still a really big deal in Season 2. And Master Treads that we were using in Season 1 are still pretty good in this season due to the fact that they give you increased stealth. But at this point, the stat loss between the Season 2 boots and the Master Treads, it's just, in my opinion, too big. So I'm not really too sure about this one, but I'd say either of these two options are fine. Also, the Edgewalker boots are still considered pretty good. So yeah, either one of these three pairs are good. I can't say which one is the best because it all depends. It depends on what other rogues are using as well. Depends how much you get punished by using these boots instead of the Master Treads. But if you can get away with it, you should use these boots because yeah, the stats are just really insane. The belt we're going for is the Belt of Deep Shadow, which you obtain by crafting it with nether vortexes that drop in both Tempest Keep and Serpent Shrine Cavern. Not really sure how high prio rogues are on this belt, but nonetheless it is a really great belt. And I've seen some other people suggest that you should use this belt from Vash, and while this belt is really great for PvE, it is not that great for PvP because expertise is not that great of a stat for PvP really, especially for a rogue because it doesn't give you any value during stuns, you know. Usually when you're killing people it is during stuns. Yeah, this belt is good, but it's not as good as Belt of Deep Shadow despite the higher stam. If you can choose between these two, you should go with Belt of Deep Shadow. Other options would be the PvP belt, and honestly I think I'm gonna use the PvP belt because I'm gonna play Rogue Druid mainly in Season 2, and this is still a really great belt. It's just whether or not, again, if you want the offensive stats of Belt of Deep Shadow or if you want the defensive stats of the Season 2 belt. For gems, it's gonna be a little bit of a mix between raw attack power and agility, but the goal is to have as many agility gems as you can. The only reason I don't have agility in every single slot, like the 20 attack power slot right here, is because I deem 20 attack power to be more valuable than 8 agility. But the reason I'm going with agility is because I'm going to be playing rogue healer. But if you're playing double DPS, I would suggest you keep going with raw attack power as it gives you more raw damage output than agility would. But in these longer, more extended fights, where you're toe-to-toeing people a lot, the extra armor and dodge that you gain from agility just comes in really handy. So again, since I'm playing rogue healer, I'm gonna go with agility gems, but if you're playing double DPS, I would suggest you go with raw attack power. The meta gem is gonna be the 24 AP and minor speed gem, and I know I said I'm going with agility gems this season since I'm playing rogue healer, but the reason I'm going with this gem is because I want the minor speed from it so that I can use sure-footed on boots. Because I think sure-foot is just a really strong enchant, and I think it outweighs the damage that you would get from the agility meta gem. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. and hopefully I'll see you on Twitch. Until then, take care, peace.